I'm Ezra Black, and tonight I wanted to go through 10 creepy urgent legends from around the world. An urban legend is a widely circulated, often shocking or eerie story rooted in folklore, popular culture, and sometimes fact. Typically told as true, these tales often contain elements of mystery and superstition, reflecting social and cultural fears. And like myths or fairy tales, urban legends are usually set in modern times and tend to involve ordinary people in familiar circumstances, making them even more creepy. With the growth of the internet and the popularity of the last few decades, urban legends from around the world have spread very easily, from headless ghosts in India to shape-shifting witches in the United States and Victorian-era serial killers in the UK. So I wanted to start with the Wendigo. The Wendigo is a terrifying creature rooted in Andalusian folklore, with its prevalence in several other Native American cultures as well, particularly from indigenous groups, forests or Great Lakes, and northern regions of the United States and Canada. Described as either a malevolent spirit that possesses a person or a monstrous humanoid, depending on who you ask. The Wendigo is said to embody greed and hunger, and is notable for its penchant for cannibalism. According to legend, those who induce extreme selfishness are resort to eating human flesh and transformed into Wendigos, cursed with an insatiable hunger for more. The appearance of a Wendigo varies across different accounts. However, in more modern pop culture, it's often depicted as gaunt, skeletal, unnaturally tall, with skin stretched tightly over its bones. In some versions, it's also said to have antlers or the head of a deer, adding to its horrifying appearance. Whether possessing an unnatural human or ailment monstrous form, it's said to have superhuman strength, speed, and a chilling voice that can mimic human cries for help, luring victims to their doom. Many believe that the legend of the Wendigo is a simple tale made up to warm gluttony and lives in one's humanity. Sometimes common in North American regions, which is continents where food is often sparse and colder seasons. The legend still endures in popular culture, cementing the Wendigo as one of North America's most well-known urban legends. The Slender Man is a more modern urban legend that originated from online forums in 2009, but has since taken on a life of its own in contemporary folklore. The figure is depicted as an unnaturally tall, thin man with elongated limbs, no facial features, often dressed in a dark suit and tie. Slender Man is known for luring in forests and abandoned areas, stalking his victim, primarily children. Stories surrounding Slenderman typically involve his ability to influence or mind control of his victims, often leading them into the woods, where they vanish without a trace. His presence is associated with feelings of paranoia, memory loss, and confusion. In some versions of the legend, Slenderman's arms extend into tentacles that capture those who stray too close. Though Slenderman's origins, particularly his unnerving appearance, likely lie in Photoshop contests for creating paranormal images, it's quickly become a phenomenon across the internet. There are now video games, books, and even a movie based on the urban legend. What makes Slenderman especially terrifying is the blend of fiction and reality now associated with it. Over time, the character has been linked to real-world events, including violent acts. In the case of the Slenderman stabbing in 2014, where two girls murdered a classmate as a sort of deranged sacrifice to the character. Man is a chilling urban legend that originated in Fairfax County, Virginia, in the 1970s. The story centered around a figure, often described as a man dressed in a tattered bunny costume, who is said to haunt a remote area near Colchester Overpass, now infamously known as Bunny Bridge. An eerie destination whether legend is true or not. According to the stories, the Bunny Man is this hip mental patient who, after his transport vehicle crashed on the way to an asylum, took refuge in the woods and began to kill rabbits for food, hanging their carcasses from trees. As the legend grew in popularity, people added more grisly details. In some versions, the Bunny Man is said to have murdered fellow escapees, hanging their body from the overpass. Assuming he may be dead now, his spirit, or possibly his successor, is believed to still stalk the area, armed with an axe, attacking those who come too close to the bridge, especially on Halloween. Though the legend is loosely based on a few reported sightings, there's no official documented evidence Bunny Man ever existed. Now we turn to a creature, the Congamato, a cryptid from Zambia, Angola, and the Congo, often described as a matted pterodactyl-type creature. This mysterious being is said to inhabit those regions, remote swamps and riverbanks, particularly in the Juinjui swamps. The name Congamato translates to overwhelmers of big boats, reflecting the creature's supposed aggressive nature, especially towards those who venture too close to the watery murk. Eyewitnesses describe the Komato as a large flying reptile with leathery wings, short snout full of sharp teeth, and reddish skin. Its wingspan is reported to be between 4 and 7 feet long, resembling prehistoric pterosaurs that were thought to have gone extinct millions of years ago. Many locals have claimed that Congamato likes to attack small boats and cause fatal injuries to humans who encounter it. While no evidence specifically exists to confirm that Congamato's existence, reports have persisted for decades. In one case in the 1950s, a man who survived in a hospital in Mansa, Zambia, with a chest wound and led to Congamato attacked him. Some speculate it may be a surviving species of prehistoric bird or reptile, while others consider it purely a myth born from unexplored wildernesses of Central Africa. Nevertheless, the continuing legends of the Congamato fascinate and frighten locals and cryptid experts all over the world. And now to one from our very own England. Jack the Ripper is one of the history's most infamous and enigmatic figures, a serial killer who terrorized London's Whitechapel district in the 1800s. This urban legend is especially haunting because the Ripper's identity was never uncovered, fueling over a century speculation and conspiracy theories. Jack the Ripper's victims total 5 women, all brutally murdered and mutilated in sickening ways. The killer's gruesome methods involved precision instruments and cuts suggested a level of anatomical knowledge, leading to some believers that the Ripper was either a doctor or a butcher. The name Jack the Ripper came from a taunting letter allegedly sent by the killer to police, though its authenticity is still disavowed. The Ripper spree in the narrow fog-filled streets of Victorian London sent shockwaves through the city, and his ability to elude capture despite intense investigations only deepened the mystery. Numerous suspects have been reported over the years, ranging from the royal family to members of a lunatic asylum, but none are ever proven as crimes by the Jack the Ripper. Although the crimes the killer committed are verifiably real, the search for his identity and what fuels the Jack the Ripper is one of the most widely spread urban legends of all time. so much a creature but a place. The Dow Hill Forest, located in Kurnosong, India, is notorious for being one of the most haunted places in the country. Situated in Dealing district, this dense, mist-filled forest at the base of the Himalayan mountains has become the centre of several chilling urban legends and ghost stories that have unsettled locals and visitors alike. The most well-known tale revolves around mysterious footsteps that echo through the forest, even when there's nobody there. Many also report intense feelings of being watched while in the area. Moreover, some claim to have seen a headless boy following them while traversing the narrow paths, only to disappear among the trees if ignored. The path with the most notorious sightings is aptly known Death Road, nearby the Central Victorian Boys High School, and it's shown closely mysterious legends. Many believe that paranormal activity occurs within the abandoned section of the school, where people can hear inexplicable laughter and footsteps. The chilling atmosphere and persistence of these eerie stories in the region brought paranormal enthusiasts throughout from India and all over the world, making one of the more macabre vacation spots in the vast beauty of the country. In Mexico, there's the story of the La Llorona, or Weeping Woman. In other Latin countries, the story of La Llorona tells of a woman who, fit in her grief of rage, drowned her children in a river. Overcome by guilt for what she had done, she took her own life. But instead of finding peace, she was sent instead to curse the wonderland, forever searching for her lost children. According to eyewitness accounts, La Llorona is often seen by rivers or lakes. A ghostly figure dressed in white, she wails and sobs uncontrollably, calling out, "Oh, my children, we are about to go forever." Some versions of the tale say that she kidnaps children who stray too close to the water, making them her own children. Those who encounter her often describe an overwhelming feeling of sadness and dread, followed by her haunting cries. Many believe La Llorona's legend is rooted in pre-Columbian indigenous myths and Spanish colonial tales. Although the story varies across region, it continues to be passed down through generations and serves as a semi-serious ghost legend and cautionary tale for children to stay away from the water. And now we have something a bit more strange. It's called The Licked Hand, and it's an unnerving yet extremely unsettling urban legend passed down through generations, primarily in modern Western cultures. The story usually involves a young girl left home alone for the night. To feel safe, she allowed her dog to sleep under her bed, which kept licking at her hand, occasionally comforting her as she tried to sleep. As the night progressed, the girl hears noises from the nearby bathroom, scratching or dripping sounds, causing her to continue to reach down to feel her dog's reassuring licks. Unable to sleep with the continued noise, she decides to brave the investigation, and she follows the noise to its source, where she finds a horrifying sight. Her dog is dead. Written on the wall are the words, "Humans can lick too." Although no actual examples of this legend have ever been reported, it remains an incredibly unsettling story that everyone should hope remains fiction instead of fact. So there are just some of the most popular urban legends from around the world. If you dig deep enough, you'll probably discover your own city or town has some of its fair share. But what's the scariest urban legend near you? I've been Ezra Black, and this is Fangtasy Tales.